Have you ever felt uneasy when someone asked you for a favor? Have you ever said yes to help someone only to regret it later? How do you know when a favor is an innocent request or a warning sign that someone is trying to take advantage of you? In this video, we're breaking down 5 types of favors that you should never agree to because the people who ask for them might not have good intentions. But before we get into it, make sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more eye-opening content like this. Now, let's get started. 1. Just put your name on this. It sounds harmless at first. A friend, a family member, or even a significant other approaches you with a simple request. Hey, can you just co-sign this loan for me? I promise I'll make all the payments. I just need a little help to get approved for this apartment. It won't affect you at all. It's just for a short time, and I'll take care of everything. You won't have to do a thing. On the surface, it sounds like an easy way to help someone out. After all, you trust them, and they're in a tough spot. You don't want to let them down. But here's the hard truth. The moment you sign your name on any legal or financial document, you are just as responsible as they are, sometimes even more. Red flag. The second you put your signature on that paper, you become legally bound to the terms of that agreement. If they fail to make payments, break a contract, or run into legal trouble, you will be the one dealing with the consequences. And those consequences can be severe. Imagine waking up one morning to find out that your credit score has plummeted because the person you co-signed for missed multiple payments. Suddenly, you're receiving collection calls for a debt you never planned on taking. In the worst cases, people have lost their savings, their homes, and their financial security because they agreed to sign for someone who couldn't fulfill their obligations. The hidden dangers of co-signing. Many people underestimate the long-term impact of co-signing. It's not just about the money. Having your name tied to someone else's financial responsibility means you could be on the hook for years, sometimes even decades, depending on the nature of the agreement. Here are some risks you may not have considered. Your debt-to-income ratio increases. If you co-sign for a loan, that debt appears on your credit report, making it harder for you to qualify for loans, mortgages, or credit cards of your own. Your credit score takes a hit. Any late payments made by the borrower reflect on your credit history, even if you're not the one making them. Legal consequences. If the borrower defaults and the lender takes legal action, you could be sued and even have your wages garnished. Strained relationships. Money issues can create significant tension, and if things go south, it may permanently damage your relationship with the borrower. Why couldn't they do it themselves? Before agreeing to sign anything, take a step back and ask yourself, why is this person unable to qualify on their own? Banks, landlords, and lenders don't deny people for no reason. If someone is asking you to co-sign, it's likely because they have a history of missed payments, excessive debt, or financial instability. And if they've already struggled with financial responsibility in the past, what guarantees that this time will be any different? The truth is, many people enter these agreements with the best intentions. They plan to make payments. They believe they won't put you in a difficult situation. But life happens. Jobs are lost, unexpected expenses arise, and priorities shift. When financial hardship hits, their payments will be the first to go, leaving you stuck with the fallout. What should you do? Before putting your name on any document, take the time to carefully read and understand the fine print. Consider every risk, not just the immediate benefit to the person asking for your help. If someone genuinely needs financial assistance, there may be alternative ways to support them that don't put your financial future at risk. They could look into seeking a smaller loan they can qualify for on their own, exploring assistance programs or grants, working on improving their credit score before applying again, finding a co-signer who is in a better position to take on the risk, offering other forms of support, such as financial advice or budgeting help. How to say no without ruining the relationship. Saying no can be difficult, especially when the person asking is someone you care about. But setting boundaries is essential for protecting your own financial stability. Here's how you can turn them down while maintaining the relationship. Be honest but firm. Explain that co-signing is a big responsibility and that you cannot take on the risk. Offer alternatives. Help them explore other options, such as finding another co-signer or improving their financial situation. Use a personal example. If you've had a bad financial experience in the past, share your story to help them understand your concerns. Don't let guilt pressure you. Just because someone asks for help doesn't mean you're obligated to say yes. Your future matters, too. Most importantly, if you feel pressured, manipulated, or guilt-tripped into signing, that is a major red flag. The best thing you can do is walk away. Your financial well-being is not something to gamble with. Protect yourself, set boundaries, and remember, saying no today could save you from a world of regret tomorrow. 2. Can I borrow some money? I'll pay you back. Everyone has been in a tight spot financially at some point. Maybe you've even borrowed money before. It's not uncommon to need help now and then, whether it's covering an unexpected expense, a medical emergency, or just making ends meet until the next paycheck. Borrowing money, when done responsibly, can be a tool to get through difficult times. However, there's a big difference between a one-time emergency request and a pattern of borrowing without repayment. Some people genuinely need help and fully intend to pay back what they owe. They may be going through an unexpected job loss, a medical crisis, or a temporary setback that they're working hard to overcome. Others, however, see borrowing as a way of life. They never intend to return the money and instead rely on emotional manipulation, guilt, and empty promises to get what they want. If you ever had a friend, coworker, or family member who constantly asks for loans but never repays them, you know how frustrating and exhausting it can be. Red flag, the serial borrower. These individuals don't just ask for help once or twice in tough times. They make a habit of it. And the worst part? They often have no intention of paying you back. Their tactics can be subtle or obvious, but the goal is always the same: to get money without taking responsibility for repaying it. Here are some common manipulation tactics they use. Playing the guilt card. Come on, I thought we were friends. How can you turn your back on me when I need you? Making fake promises. I swear I'll pay you back next week. Just a few days and I'll have the money. Telling an emotional sob story. I have no one else to turn to. My family abandoned me, and I'm struggling just to survive. Acting entitled. You have money, don't you? You won't even miss it. Why are you being so selfish? Using past favors against you. Remember when I helped you move? You owe me for that. Pressuring you in public. They might ask for money in front of a group, making it awkward to say no. Borrowing small amounts consistently. They may ask for small amounts often, so you don't notice how much they are taking overall. The sad truth is that if someone has borrowed from others and never repaid them, they are unlikely to repay you either. It's a pattern of behavior, not just a one-time mistake. If they've done it before, they'll do it again. What should you do? If you want to help, set clear boundaries. Here are some strategies to protect yourself. Only lend what you can afford to lose. If you choose to give money, do so with a mindset that you may never see it again. If losing that amount would put you in financial hardship, say no. Ask for repayment terms in writing. If you do decide to lend, have an agreement in place, even if it's informal. A text message, a note, or any form of acknowledgement can make a difference. If they refuse to agree to even a simple acknowledgement, that's a red flag. Offer non-monetary help instead. If they truly need assistance, you can offer to buy groceries, pay a bill directly, or help them find resources. This way, you provide support without risking financial loss. Be aware of repeat offenders. If someone constantly asks for money but never repays it, stop lending to them. Chances are you're not the only one they're borrowing from. Learn to say no. If someone has a history of borrowing without repaying, the best answer is a firm, simple no. You don't have to explain yourself or feel guilty. Your financial well-being is just as important as theirs. Redirect them to real help. If they're struggling with money, there may be charities, financial assistance programs, or budgeting help they can access instead of relying on you. Distance yourself from financial manipulators. If a person continuously asks for money and ignores boundaries, it might be time to reevaluate your relationship with them. If they only contact you when they need money, that's a major warning sign. Recognize emotional manipulation. If they get angry, sad, or try to make you feel bad when you refuse, understand that this is a tactic. A true friend will respect your decision. Talk openly about finances. If you're constantly being asked for money, consider having honest conversations about budgeting, saving, and financial responsibility. It may not change their behavior, but it sets expectations. Helping someone in need is a kind and generous act, but you should never feel obligated to loan money when you know it won't be repaid. Protect yourself from financial manipulators, and remember, if someone truly values your relationship, they won't take advantage of your generosity. Lending money should never come at the cost of your own financial stability or emotional well-being. Being smart with your finances means knowing when to say yes and when to say no. Set boundaries, stick to them, and don't let guilt push you into a situation you'll regret. True friendships and relationships are based on mutual respect, not financial dependency. 3. Just cover for me this one time. This situation can arise in various forms. A coworker asks you to lie for them at work. A friend pressures you to cover up their bad behavior in a relationship. A family member wants you to hide something from others. At first glance, it may seem like a small favor. Maybe your coworker needs you to tell the boss they were sick when they were actually out partying. Perhaps your best friend wants you to keep their infidelity a secret. Or maybe a sibling asks you not to mention a financial mistake they made. It might feel like helping them out is the right thing to do, especially if you care about them. But there's something you need to recognize. This is a test of your boundaries and integrity. Red flag. If someone asks you to compromise your integrity, they are testing the limits of what they can get you to do. If you agree once, they now know you are willing to bend your morals for them. The problem? It likely won't stop there. If they get caught, they may even shift the blame onto you to protect themselves. It can start with small, seemingly harmless requests. Just tell my boyfriend I was with you last night. Can you say I finished that project if anyone asks? Don't mention to mom that I took the money. Each time you say yes, you reinforce the idea that you are willing to be complicit in their deception. Over time, the stakes may rise. What starts as a simple cover-up could escalate to more serious dishonesty or even illegal activities. Some people intentionally manipulate others into unethical or even criminal situations. They may ask you to lie to authorities, falsify documents, help them cheat on taxes, or cover up financial fraud. Once you agree to something like this, they have leverage over you. They can pressure you into continuing to help them, reminding you that you were already involved. If the truth ever comes out, they may claim you were the mastermind or force you to take the fall to save themselves. Not only can agreeing to such requests jeopardize your reputation, but it can also put you in legal trouble. In many situations, covering for someone else is not just a personal risk, but a legal one. Perjury, obstruction of justice, or conspiracy charges can follow even seemingly small lies. A friend's request to vouch for them in a legal matter, for example, could have lasting consequences. What you think of as harmless loyalty could turn into a criminal record. So, what should you do when faced with this type of request? 1. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Our instincts often alert us when something is unethical. If a request makes you uncomfortable or requires secrecy, ask yourself why. Be mindful that guilt-tripping or emotional manipulation is often a sign that the person knows they are asking you to do something wrong. 2. Set clear boundaries. It's okay to say no. In fact, saying no is often necessary. You do not owe anyone a lie, especially when it can put your reputation, relationships, or even your freedom at risk. You can be firm but polite. I'm not comfortable with that. Or, I can't lie for you. You don't need to justify your decision beyond that. If they persist, remind them that your integrity is not negotiable. 3. Recognize true friendship. A real friend wouldn't ask you to risk your integrity for them. If someone is willing to put you in a compromising position, they are prioritizing their own interests over your well-being. Ask yourself, would they do the same for you? And if they did, would that be the kind of support you truly want? A healthy friendship is built on trust and mutual respect, not secrecy and manipulation. 4. Understand the consequences. Even a small lie can have big consequences. What if your co-worker's lie results in you losing credibility with your boss? What if covering for a friend's cheating destroys someone else's trust in relationships? What if the family secret you're asked to keep leads to more damage in the long run? Protecting someone from immediate discomfort can cause greater harm down the line. Consider what happens if the lie is exposed. If your coworker is found out, your boss might not only fire them but also distrust you in the future. If you cover for a friend's dishonesty in a relationship, their partner might find out eventually and blame you as well. Lies have a way of unraveling, often when we least expect it. 5. Walk away if necessary. If someone consistently pressures you to cover for them, consider what kind of role they play in your life. Do they respect your values, or do they only see what they can get out of you? Some relationships are toxic, and distancing yourself may be the healthiest option. When a pattern of dishonesty or manipulation emerges, it may be time to reconsider the relationship entirely. Be aware of those who push their limits. If you refuse once and they keep asking, they are testing how much control they can have over you. The more you let it slide, the more they will try to push you into doing things you are uncomfortable with. Setting boundaries early will make it clear that you will not be manipulated. 6. Seek guidance if needed. If the request involves legal matters, financial deception, or something serious, consider seeking advice from a mentor, supervisor, or legal expert. You don't have to handle tough situations alone, and sometimes getting an outside perspective can give you clarity. If the person asking you to lie is in a position of authority over you, such as a manager or a senior colleague, you may need to escalate the issue to HR or another trusted professional. The next time someone says, "Just cover for me this one time," remember, it's rarely just one time. If you value your integrity and reputation, protect them. Saying no might be uncomfortable, but it's far easier than deal with the fallout of someone else's deception. Stand firm in your values and surround yourself with people who respect them. Your honesty is an asset, not a weakness, and those who truly care about you will never ask you to risk it. 4. Can I use your account for something? At first glance, it might seem like an innocent request. A friend, a family member, or even a colleague casually asks, "Can I use your Netflix login? Can I use your email to sign up for something? Can I have your bank account for a quick transfer?" It's tempting to say yes, especially if the person asking is someone you know well. After all, what's the harm in sharing an account or helping someone out? Unfortunately, the reality is that granting access to your personal accounts can lead to consequences far beyond what you might expect. Red flag alert, loss of control. The moment you share access to any personal account, you relinquish control. While you may trust the person you're giving access to, you can't always control how they use it or who else they might share it with. Worse, some people may have hidden motives and could exploit your trust for fraudulent or illegal purposes. Here are some of the common ways this can go wrong. 1. Financial fraud and money laundering. One of the biggest scams involving account access is financial fraud. Imagine someone asking you to let them use your bank account for a quick transfer. They might claim it's for an urgent reason. Perhaps they need to receive money from a job or a relative abroad. But what if that money comes from illegal activities? If law enforcement tracks a transaction, your bank account is the one flagged. You could find yourself under investigation for money laundering, even if you had no idea what was happening. Additionally, some fraudsters use accounts for check-kiting schemes, fraudulent wire transfers, or pyramid scams. Even if you think you're just doing someone a favor, your financial records could become entangled in criminal activity, leading to frozen accounts or legal trouble. 2. Identity theft and unauthorized use. Another common risk involves sharing your email or phone number. A seemingly harmless request, like using your email to sign up for something, can spiral into a nightmare. A scammer could use your email to register for services under your name, reset passwords, or even take out loans in your identity. The next thing you know, you're receiving strange charges or dealing with a compromised email account that you can no longer access. In some cases, scammers may use your email to send phishing messages to your contacts, pretending to be you and asking for sensitive information. If your friends or colleagues fall for these tricks, they might also suffer financial loss or identity theft, all because you granted access to the wrong person. 3. Subscription and credit card misuse. Sharing streaming accounts like Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon Prime might seem harmless, but there are risks. While you may trust a family member or friend, they could unknowingly or intentionally change account settings, add payment methods, or even make purchases. Some platforms store credit card information, and if someone with access starts ordering items on Amazon or subscribing to paid content, you could be stuck with the bill. Even worse, if your password is used on multiple platforms, a breach on one service could expose your credentials elsewhere. Moreover, sharing accounts violates the terms of service for many platforms. If a company detects multiple unauthorized users on your account, they might suspend or permanently ban it. Losing access to your favorite streaming service might be the least of your worries if unauthorized charges and security breaches follow. 4. Social engineering and phishing attacks. Hackers and scammers often exploit human psychology. If someone close to you gets access to one of your accounts, they might accidentally expose it to others. They might reuse your password elsewhere, get tricked by phishing emails, or fall victim to a hacker who then gains access to your private information. Once your data is compromised, cybercriminals could use it to target you or even your contacts. This is particularly dangerous when it comes to business or work-related accounts. If you share work email or login details, unauthorized access could lead to data leaks, security breaches, or even job termination. Many cyber attacks start with one weak link. Don't let it be you. What should you do? It's crucial to protect your accounts and personal information at all costs. Here are some steps to keep yourself safe. Never share your passwords or account details. Even if you trust a person, it's not worth the risk. Use strong, unique passwords for every account. If someone does gain access to one account, they won't be able to use the same password to get into others. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA, wherever possible. This adds an extra layer of security, ensuring that even if someone gets your password, they can't easily log in. Ask yourself, why can't they get their own account? If someone is insisting on using your account instead of creating their own, it's often a red flag. Monitor your accounts regularly. Keep an eye on your bank statements, email activity, and account logins. If you notice anything unusual, change your passwords immediately and report suspicious activity. Be cautious with family and friends. Even people you trust may not always understand the risks, so set firm boundaries about account sharing. Use a password manager. If you struggle to remember strong, unique passwords, a password manager can securely store and autofill them for you. Stay educated on scams. Fraud tactics evolve constantly, so stay informed about new threats and warning signs to better protect yourself. Consider financial alerts. Many banks allow you to set up notifications for transactions. If unauthorized activity occurs, you'll be notified immediately and can take action before it escalates. In today's digital age, your online accounts are as valuable as your physical belongings. You wouldn't hand over your house keys to just anyone. So why do the same with your accounts? By keeping your personal information private and staying vigilant, you can protect yourself from scams, fraud, and identity theft. Many scams rely on the assumption that people will act impulsively or out of trust. Taking a moment to question a request and consider the risks can save you from significant trouble. If someone genuinely needs access to a service or financial account, they should set up their own. Remember, it's always better to say no and protect yourself than to say yes and regret it later. 5. Help me out, but don't tell anyone. Have you ever had someone ask for your help but insist that you keep it a secret? It might sound like, this is just between us, okay? No one needs to know about this. Promise me you won't tell anyone. These types of requests often put you in an uncomfortable position, making you feel as if you're being forced to choose between loyalty and your own integrity. But here's the truth. When someone asks for secrecy, it's usually because they know what they're doing is wrong. They want your help, but they don't want to take responsibility for it. This is a major red flag. Why do people ask for secrecy? People request secret favors for many reasons, but the underlying motive is often self-preservation. They might be trying to avoid consequences, hide unethical behavior, or manipulate you into becoming an accomplice to something you wouldn't normally support. Sometimes, they may not even realize they are putting you in a difficult position, but that doesn't change the risks involved. Some common situations include a coworker asking you to hide their mistakes at work. Maybe they forgot to complete an important task, mismanaged a project, or even took credit for something they didn't do. They want you to cover for them, so they don't face repercussions. While it might seem like a harmless favor, it can easily spiral out of control, leading to bigger workplace issues. A friend asking you to help them cheat on a partner. They might want to lie about their whereabouts, cover for them when they sneak around, or keep their actions a secret, putting you in an awkward moral dilemma. This kind of secrecy can lead to broken friendships, mistrust, and unnecessary drama. A family member asking you to cover up a financial or legal issue. This could involve hiding debt, tax fraud, or even legal trouble, placing you in a situation where you could be legally implicated. Even if your intentions are good, helping them cover things up can make you legally or financially liable. A classmate asking for help with dishonest academic behavior. Maybe they want you to write a paper for them, let them copy your homework, or help them cheat on an exam. While it might feel like a minor favor, academic dishonesty has serious consequences, not just for them, but for you as well. These scenarios all share a common theme. Someone wants to involve you in their problem, but doesn't want a responsibility that comes with it. Instead, they shift that burden onto you, making you complicit in their actions. The risks of helping in secret. Helping someone in secret almost always backfires. Here's why. You could be blamed. If things go wrong, you'll be the first person suspected. The real culprit may even shift blame onto you to save themselves. In professional settings, you could be the one facing disciplinary action instead of them. It can damage your reputation. If the truth comes out, people may see you as untrustworthy or as someone who supports unethical behavior. Your personal and professional reputation could take a hit, making it harder to rebuild trust with others. It causes stress and guilt. Carrying someone else's secret can weigh on you emotionally, especially if it conflicts with your values. The constant worry about being caught or facing consequences can be mentally exhausting. It can lead to legal consequences. Some secrets involve serious issues like fraud or deception. Covering for someone could land you in legal trouble, making you legally responsible for their actions even if you had no direct involvement. It can create an unhealthy dynamic. Once you agree to keep a secret, people may continue to take advantage of your willingness to help. Over time, this can create a toxic pattern where you feel trapped in their problems. What should you do? If someone asks for a secret favor, question their motives. A genuine request for help doesn't need secrecy. If they pressure you, the best response is simple. And here's how you can respond. I'm not comfortable keeping secrets like this. I think it's best to be honest about the situation. I can't be a part of this. I respect you, but I can't help in a way that puts me in a bad position. If this is something you can tell others about, maybe you shouldn't be doing it. Setting boundaries is important, and refusing to participate in secrecy protects you from unwanted consequences. If the person reacts negatively to your refusal, that's another indication that they don't truly respect you or your boundaries. The power of saying no. People who ask for these favors don't respect boundaries and might be trying to manipulate you. Learning to say no is one of the best ways to protect yourself from being caught in someone else's mess. You don't owe anyone secrecy, especially when it involves deception or unethical behavior. Instead of feeling obligated to help, remind yourself that honesty and integrity matter more in the long run. If someone truly cares about you, they won't ask you to compromise your values for their benefit. Have you ever been in this situation? People who ask for these favors don't respect boundaries and might be trying to manipulate you. The best way to protect yourself? Learn to say no. Which of these favors have you encountered? Have you ever regretted helping someone? Let us know in the comments. And don't forget, like, share, and subscribe for more eye-opening content. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.